How to test a woman before she destroys you. Before she breaks your heart, hijacks your peace, and drains your purpose, you need to know this. Test her. Not with games, not with lies, but with clarity. Because if you don't test the woman in your life, you will fall for her mask and wake up too late, broken, confused, and wondering how the hell you got here. This video will give you the 5 tests every man must run, not to manipulate her, but to protect yourself. Let's begin. Test number 1, the attention test. Is she loyal to you or the spotlight? Here's the truth most men ignore. The woman you're dating isn't just showing you who she is, she's showing you what she values. And one of the fastest ways to figure that out is by watching where she puts her attention. Does she crave the spotlight? Does she light up only when the cameras are on, when the crowd is watching, when the likes, comments, and validation roll in? If so, you're not dating a woman, you're dating a brand, and you're not her partner, you're a prop. This test is simple. Remove the crowd, strip away the attention, see what's left, take her somewhere quiet, no Instagrammable views, no fancy restaurants, no followers watching, just you and her, undistracted. Does she stay engaged, or does she look bored, disinterested, disconnected? That reaction tells you everything. A woman who is truly interested in you will thrive in your presence, not just the attention that surrounds you. She doesn't need an audience to feel alive. She needs authenticity, and she seeks depth, not just drama. Now contrast that with the woman who lives for the likes. If her self-worth rises and falls with her online presence, if she treats real moments like photo ops, if she can't go an hour without refreshing her feed, brother, she's not building a bond, she's building her brand. Stoic men don't chase attention. They observe it. They watch how people behave when no one's looking, because that's when the truth comes out. Here's a Stoic check. Ask yourself, would I still want to be around her if the world was silent? No audience, no filters, no followers, just the two of you. If the answer is no, you already know the truth. The attention test is about revealing her inner compass. Is she drawn to presence or performance? Is she with you or with what you represent to the world? A woman who can sit with you in silence and still feel full, that's rare, that's power, that's worth keeping. But the one who can't find peace unless she's being watched, she'll never be present with you because she's too busy performing for everyone else. So test this early and don't ignore the results. Test number 2, the boundaries test. Will she respect your standards or try to rewrite them? Here's something that separates boys from men. Men have boundaries. They don't let anyone, no matter how attractive or charming, rewrite the rules of their life. And this is exactly where most men fail. They meet a woman, get pulled in by her beauty, her softness, her energy, and before they know it, they're compromising their values just to keep her around. That's why the boundaries test is so critical. It reveals whether she respects the frame you live in or if she's trying to bend it to her will. You run this test by living your truth. You say what you mean what you say. You follow through on your word. You have standards, not just for her, but for yourself. And then you watch how she reacts. Here's what this looks like. You tell her you don't drink on weeknights because you're up at 5 a.m. grinding for your goals. She laughs and says, "Come on, just one night won't hurt." That's a test. She's seeing if you'll bend. Or maybe you say you value your gym time. It's sacred to you. And she says, "You can skip it today, just stay with me." Again, a test. Is your routine just talk or is it real? Women subconsciously test men to see if their frame is solid. If you bend too easily, if you say yes just to avoid conflict, she loses respect fast. Not because she's evil, not because she's manipulative, but because deep down, she's wired to seek a man who leads. If your standards can be rewritten, she knows you're not grounded. And if you're not grounded, you're not safe. Stoicism teaches that we should never trade peace of mind for momentary pleasure. That applies here. The man who sticks to his code, no matter how tempting the moment, is the man who commands respect. And here's a hard truth. The moment you start shifting your boundaries just to keep her happy, you're already losing her. It starts small, canceling a workout, skipping your morning routine, changing your weekend plans. But over time, you lose yourself. And eventually, she won't even recognize the man she was once attracted to. The boundaries test is about more than rules. It's about self-respect. A woman who sees you honoring your code will either rise to meet it or slowly disappear. And either way, that's your answer. So if you tell her, "I need this time for myself," and she gets it, that's a good sign. But if she pouts, guilts, or pressures you, she's trying to rewrite your story. Don't let anyone edit your values. A woman who truly sees your worth won't try to change you. She'll respect the structure that makes you strong. The boundaries test doesn't just protect your time, it protects your soul. Test number 3, the emotional pressure test. Will she break you or build with you? This is the moment most men don't see coming. Everything seems to be going fine, then out of nowhere she pulls back emotionally, starts a pointless argument, or hits you with an emotional curveball that doesn't make any logical sense. You're left confused, asking yourself, did I do something wrong? But here's the reality. This isn't chaos. It's a test of your emotional resilience. Women, consciously or not, will test your ability to stay centered. Why? Because to her, your emotional stability is security. If she brings a storm and you fall apart, she'll feel like she's with a boy pretending to be a man. But if you hold your frame, if you stay calm, composed, unshaken, her instincts tell her she's found something rare, a man who won't break. Here's how this shows up. She starts a fight over something trivial. She pulls back affection without explanation. She brings up her ex just to see how you react. She suddenly acts cold, distant, or dismissive. Your job is not to fix her feelings or beg for clarity. Your job is to observe. This is where stoicism becomes your secret weapon. Marcus Aurelius said, if you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. So if she acts cold, don't panic. If she questions your values, don't flinch. If she withholds affection, don't chase. You stay in your center. You lead with calm. This test separates the emotionally dependent from the emotionally grounded. Most men fail because they react. They try to fix, explain, argue, or worse, apologize for things they didn't even do. But the grounded man does something different. He holds space. He listens. He stays aware, but unmoved. If she needs time, he gives it. If she's trying to trigger a reaction, he won't give her that power. Not out of indifference, but out of discipline. A woman wants to feel that if life gets hard, if emotions get heavy, you won't fall apart. She needs to know you won't become another emotional burden. She has enough of those. She's looking for a rock, a foundation, a man who doesn't get swept up in every emotional wave. So the next time she tests you like this, see it for what it is. Not an attack, but a question. Can you handle me? Can I trust you when I'm not at my best? Pass this test and her respect for you grows. Fail it, and even if she stays physically, she'll start pulling away emotionally. Never forget, your response under pressure is the proof of your emotional frame, and your frame is what separates boys who need validation from men who command respect. The emotional pressure test isn't about controlling her, it's about mastering yourself, and that is what makes you truly unbreakable. Test number 4, the value flip test. Does she see you as the prize? Here's the truth most men are afraid to admit. They're the ones chasing, proving, and selling themselves in relationships. But what happens when you flip the script? What happens when you walk into the room knowing you're the prize? That's the foundation of the value flip test. This test isn't about being arrogant or treating her like she's beneath you. It's about checking whether she's in your life because she sees your value or because she thinks you're easy to impress. Here's how you run it. The next time you're with her, stop performing. Stop trying to win her over. Instead, start observing how she shows up. Does she ask you questions? Does she listen when you speak? Does she make any effort to impress you? Or is she sitting back expecting you to carry the entire vibe? Most women are used to being chased. They're used to men trying to win their attention. So when you shift your energy from proving to choosing, they feel it. Some won't like it. They'll pull away, act confused, or accuse you of being distant. That's okay. Let them. That's the test working. A woman who truly respects herself and you will step up. She'll match your effort. She'll want to contribute to the experience. She'll recognize that your time, your energy, your attention, it's a gift, not a given. But the ones who are just there for the validation, they'll fade, they'll go cold, they'll complain that you've changed, but what really happened is you stopped auditioning. Here's a practical way to test this. The next time you're planning to meet up, don't make all the effort. Let her suggest the spot. See if she's willing to come to your side of town. See if she brings anything to the table, literally or metaphorically. If everything is always on your shoulders, that's a red flag. That's a one-sided dynamic where she's the prize and you're the performer. But remember, flipping the value isn't about being cold, it's about confidence. You're not withholding effort to punish her. You're simply giving her the chance to show that she values you too. This test will scare some women off. Good. The ones who fail it would have drained you anyway, but the ones who pass, they'll lean in with curiosity, they'll ask deeper questions, they'll respect your time, because they can sense this man knows who he is. And when a woman senses that you are the prize, everything changes. She stops testing you and starts investing in you. So ask yourself, does she treat you like an option or like a man worth earning? Run the value flip test and let her reveal her true intentions. Test number 5, the respect test. Will she follow your lead or challenge your purpose? This one cuts deep because it gets to the core of your identity as a man. Every strong man has a purpose, a direction he's headed, a mission he's pursuing, but not every woman respects that. Some will try to compete with it, some will try to reshape it, and others, they'll quietly test whether your purpose is real or just something you say to sound impressive. The respect test isn't about dominance. It's not about being the boss or demanding submission. It's about watching how she responds to your life path. Does she support it, or does she make it harder for you to walk it? Here's how you run it. Start speaking openly about your goals. Tell her what you're building, your business, your craft, your body, your discipline. Talk about how you spend your mornings, your weekends, your alone time. See what happens. A woman who respects you will ask questions. She'll want to understand what drives you. She won't interrupt your flow. She'll encourage it. She might even challenge you to go harder, to aim higher. That's the kind of woman you keep. But if she starts making little comments like, "You're always working," or "You take that too seriously," or "Why don't you just relax?" Pay attention. She's not joking. She's testing. And here's the deeper layer. If you bend for her, if you pause your purpose to make her feel more comfortable, you fail the test. Not because compromise is bad, but because purpose isn't optional. A man without purpose is a man who can be controlled. Watch her when you say no, when you set boundaries around your time, when you say, "I've got work to do." If she respects that, if she gives you space and doesn't guilt trip you, that's a green flag. But if she gets cold, distant, or dramatic, she sees your purpose as a threat to her control. Stoicism teaches this. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. That's your compass. And any woman who distracts you from that path is not a partner. She's a detour. The respect test is simple. Be who you are, stick to your path, and watch what she does. If she walks beside you, good. If she tries to steer you off course, walk alone, because a woman who doesn't respect your purpose will never respect you. Too many men give everything to women who haven't earned a thing. You give your time, your heart, your energy, without ever asking, "Does she even deserve access to me?" You test your car before you buy it. You test your career path before committing to it, but you dive headfirst into a relationship without testing her character. That ends now. From this moment forward, you test before you invest. You don't need perfection. You need alignment. You don't need fireworks. You need peace. You don't need to be chosen. You need to be respected. So test her with silence, with boundaries, with presence. And if she fails, you don't argue. You don't beg. You walk, because a man who knows his value doesn't chase compatibility. He attracts it. If this message hit hard, type in the comments, "I choose myself first." Subscribe to Olivia Rose, because every week we're diving deep into female psychology, dating strategy, and the Stoic mindset that makes you unstoppable. Drop a like, share it with a brother, and remember, test her before she tests your limits.